Did you start your list? You did? Oh, great. I'm so happy. Let's get started on this last part 4 of the playing by ear for the bowed psaltery. We've just about covered it all as far as the basics and as far as step by step what you should do, what you should be working at. But yeah, get that list made and start working on that and working from that. Listening for songs that you want to learn. When you go to a jam, you hear a song that you don't know, record that on your voice recorder. You hear a song on the radio, you want to be able to play that. Record it somehow or find the recording online so that you can go listen to it and learn how to play it. Remember what I said about kind of putting it in the key of C first, or that's what I do. You don't have to do that, but I find that easier for me. The key of C is also important to me to play songs in the key of C, because when I get into double bowing, most of the time when I'm double bowing and I'm playing a melody with a harmony with the left hand bow, I like to stay only on the one side of the instrument, and the key of C lets me do that. If I'm going to do that in the key of D, I have a tenor psaltery, and I make tenor psalteries that are tuned to a D chromatic scale so that the key of D is all along just the one side. That lets me do the double bowing and can switch back and forth between the key of C and the key of D with the two psalteries, and I don't even have to think about it. I'm just pretty much using the dots on the side, and when I play, either key comes out, either C or D. So I use the key of C when I'm learning for another purpose. Then it does help me later on, and when we get into double bowing, I'll be able to show you what I'm talking about on that. There's lots of different methods of double bowing. One thing we didn't talk about are songs in a minor key. I think for C, the C major scale, I think the minor is A. So if I start at the A and play A, C, and E, listen to this chord. Hear that kind of a minor sound there? Those are actually the first few notes are in this. That's in between all of those notes there. There's 6 notes in all. That is something or somewhere that's great to play around with, to improvise and just kind of make up little things. It's a little easier, I think, in that the minor key there to make up some little songs. But one song that I've always liked for a long time is Wayfaring Stranger, and in those 6 notes there between the A and the E, A, B, C, D, E, that's all of the first part of Wayfaring Stranger. So let's start on the A, and we're going to go up all the way up to the E, A, E, E. So it's da 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 da. You've heard it. So all on just those 6 notes. I kind of just went ahead and played the song and didn't pretend like I was hunting and pecking and finding the notes of the song. Pretty soon you'll be doing the same thing. But yeah, that's Wayfaring Stranger. First note is the A. Put that on your list. Wayfaring Stranger. Write down the A is the first note. So you can write down two A's, A, E, E. Now the E is up into that next octave. So if you're color coding, the two A's would be one color and the two E's would be in a different color because you're jumping across the octave at C. A, E. Da, 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 da. All right, next to the last note there, I drop down to that G. And that leads into the chorus part, which goes on up quite a bit higher. But see how just a simple song like that, very nice on the bowed psaltery, sounds really nice. I'm playing one note at a time. I'm playing it at any speed that I want. A song like that sounds better to play slowly. Let's try. All right, going into the chorus, it starts on the E and goes on up to the higher notes here. Let's try. Da 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 da. So that's the chorus part, then it drops back down and plays a little bit of that melody again to the end. Haunting sound of the bowed psaltery and playing a haunting tune or melody like Wayfaring Stranger. It's great. That is pretty much all I've got on playing by ear. I did say you would learn to play these songs in the key of E or A minor. But then once you get them in your head, you can move on to any other key to play any key that you need to. You can stay in the key of C. I'm happy to play most of what I play in the key of C. If I move to the D chromatic psaltery, playing it in D, which that's what I use when I'm playing with a group of dulcimer players or playing in a dulcimer jam. I use a psaltery that is tuned to the key of D, so that all the notes of the D scale are along that right hand side. I don't even have to think. I play the song just as I would in the key of C, and everything matches up. I don't have to spend all that time reaching across to the left side for that F sharp and the C sharp. I don't need to do that. I can stay on the right hand side. I can do all those double bowing melody harmony things and all those nice drones. You can do two note drones as a backup. But we'll be getting into that when we do the video on the process of double bowing. I know that's another thing that a lot of folks are very interested in and interested to find out more about. So look for that coming up. I think the next video is going to be on for folks that do use sheet music and can read music. It's going to be for you. I've got some sources to show you where to find music and what to think about as far as where you can find music to play using the Psaltery. I know a lot of you don't really need any help with that, but I maybe have a really good source of some new music that's really inexpensive that you can find online. And I'm going to share that with you. So I guess that's all for playing by ear. Any questions that you have, put them in the comments and I'll answer there. That way everybody can see your question and my answer. And we'll work through any problems that you may be having. And we're going to keep on learning. The bowed psaltery is an instrument that there's not a whole lot of instruction out there. And so folks are starving for some information. I decided to go ahead and do all of these videos. I'm going to do it all. I'm going to do all the double bowing. We may get down to just learning single songs in a video and kind of working our way through that, maybe introducing you to some songs. Maybe another good video would be one on improvising. I mentioned that a while ago when we were playing in the minor key there, A minor. It's really good to improvise, and I've got some ideas on that, and that's something that's fun to do. I'll show you what I do with that. But next video will be on finding you some sheet music to use for you folks that need to use music or want to use music. Please remember what I said about use that as a learning tool, but try to memorize. Start memorizing songs and get them in your head. Much more fun at a jam when you know the song and can play along and can keep your mind on that instead of what's the next note on the page and trying to look back and forth between where you're playing on the psaltery and the music. That's kind of tough. That's one thing that I would think would be very difficult, to keep an eye on both places at once, but nothing's impossible. You do what you want to do. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.